and was released each time. But King Henry VIII had no tolerance for Protestant reformers, and under his rule he had enough to convict Askew of heresy. Askew was brought into custody and taken to the Tower of London, where she was tortured by being placed on a rack. The rack was a torture device used to get victims to recant their faith and provide names of others who believed the same. On the rack, Askew was bound to a wooden frame and fastened to rollers designed to pull her limbs in opposite directions, ultimately pulling her arms, legs, hips, and shoulders out of their sockets, as well as pulling muscles and ligaments beyond repair. Despite being permanently disabled, Askew refused to recant her faith and didn't give up a single name. No longer able to walk, Askew was carried back to her prison cell. 17 days later, at the age of 25, she was burned at the stake for her faith. Askew spoke and wrote courageously about her faith and lived out her belief until her death. When convicted of heresy, she accepted her sentence quietly. Before her death, she declined to speak with a priest for confession, stating she would confess her sins directly to God and was confident she would be forgiven. Then they did put me on the rack, because I confessed no ladies or gentlemen to be, of my opinion, the Lord Chancellor and Master Rich, took pains to rack me with their own hands, till I was nearly dead. I fainted, and then they recovered me again. Anne Askew. Elizabeth Blackwell, 1821 to 1910. Elizabeth Blackwell was the first woman to receive a medical degree in the United States. Born in Bristol, England, to Samuel Blackwell and Hannah Lane, she was the third of 9 children. Her younger sister Emily would become the third woman to receive her medical degree in America and the first female surgeon. In 1832, the Blackwell family moved to America amid the cholera epidemic. Early on, Blackwell had no desire to study medicine, but was drawn to literature and philosophy. But when a dying friend suggested her ordeal would have been easier if she'd had a female physician, Blackwell was inspired to pursue her medical degree. She sent out dozens of applications, and each one was promptly denied because of her gender. She was told her hopes to become a doctor were admirable, but impossible. Despite a stack of rejected applications, Blackwell believed she had been divinely sanctioned to study medicine. She had been raised in a deeply religious family, and her faith motivated her desire to dedicate her life to serving others. Blackwell thought that women could be anything they wished according to the limits of individual talent and toil, and in reaching their fullest potential would raise humanity closer to its ideal. In 1847, Blackwell applied to Geneva Medical College. The faculty dean, Charles A. Lee, asked the student body to vote and stated that she would be denied entrance if even one of the 113 male students voted against her admission. The student body viewed the vote as a joke, never believing it would be a reality, and unanimously voted her in. 2 years later, in 1849, Blackwell graduated first in her class. In 1857, Elizabeth opened the New York Infirmary for Women and Children with her sister, Dr. Emily Blackwell. Their mission was to provide medical care for the poor and training for female physicians. The Blackwell sisters died in 1910. There were more than 9,000 female physicians in America at the time of their passing, roughly 6% of all doctors. Today, 35% of medical doctors are women, and slightly more than half of all medical students are women. My whole life is devoted unreservedly to the service of my sex. The study and practice of medicine is in my thoughts but one means to a great end. The true ennoblement of woman, Elizabeth Blackwell. William Booth, 1829 to 1912. William Booth was referred to as the prophet of the poor and is best known as the founder of the Salvation Army. Booth was born into a